All right, one more time.
Okay, we're good.
Welcome to the Peapod. And just like the peas in a peapod, each human is here to have experiences that will contribute to the growth of all. Welcome to the Peapod. And just like the peas in a peapod, each human is here to have experiences that will contribute to the growth of all. Here at the Peapod, we
Welcome, everyone. Hello, and thank you for coming in today to the Peapod. And I have a special guest with me today that I'm so excited for you all to get to know. As the recording said, the Peapod is a safe place. The angels told me a little while ago, months ago, that the Peapod, we're all like peas in that Peapod. We're like-minded and we're fed by the same source. And the person that I have on today, I think, really exhibits that. And I want to introduce you to Mike Post. So welcome, welcome. Glad you're here today. Uh-oh, I don't hear you.
There we go.
There it is. Yes, we want all of you, including the voice.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
I'm so glad you're here.
I'm excited.
All right. So I am going to put some of your information up, but while I'm doing that, Mike, just tell us a little bit about you, where you are, and what your world is like.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Well, a little bit about me is my name is Michael Post, and I'm the co-founder and visionary of Samadhi Sea of Wisdom. It's a meditation school out of Yuma, Arizona, and we have students from all over the world. And my mission is to share, the soul's remembrance for the soul to remember who it is through this beautiful human experience, as we see that so many of us have forgotten who we are. And I was once there. And to awaken that compassion by doing that inner work of remembering who we are and really uniting that oneness with ourselves to bring that oneness in the world, because we so want it out there, but we're not willing to give that love to ourselves. We're not willing to give that self-forgiveness to ourselves. We're not willing to say, what's the darkest, ugliest part of myself that I could love today? And to have that opportunity is such a gift, to be able to share that with all of you. And coming from a place where, I lived a very dark past, a very, very violent background, coming back from that side and saying that, I didn't even see myself here. I didn't pray for this. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this. But, the higher power, the divine, the spirit, when your mission is greater than your excuses, than your illusions, this is why I'm here, to share with everyone that you are right where you need to be. There's no other place than where you are right now. That's the greatest, most perfect place. Is the more that you embrace that, the more you will vibrate the truth that is always wanting to speak through you.
I love that. I love it. And Michael, I know you have do you prefer Mike or Michael?
Whichever one.
Okay.
I loan that name, so I'm open to, Michael's fine.
Yeah, I've listened to you a bit, and I have talked to you personally, and I just love your attitude about life. And I know that, like me and many others, you've gone through challenges in life. We all do. That's why we're here, right? So, what I've found is through those challenges, we get stronger, we grow, and that's what it's about. If we didn't have the struggle, there would be no growth. So,
Yes.
do you relate to the angels? Because a lot of my teachings and what I do on this show, especially, is connecting in with the angels.
Yes. One thing that I would love to share from what you said is really, and yes, I connect with angels to, to cover that question. Um, I think that the word strength, and I know we've talked about this, is that I desire to share to the audience is we're not talking about a physical strength because, like I said, I didn't even want this. I just got married over the weekend and to the love of my life, and I would have never dreamed that. Like, I went like this when people said you're gonna get married, you're gonna have kids, and I was like, no, because I mean I didn't even see myself living past 20 years. 20 years young. I don't say 20 years old because I don't believe that we're old. I believe we're infinite and we're all young babies remembering who we are. Um, so yeah, talking about the strength, when you talk about the angels is the way to tap into the angels is to let go. You don't you can command things because you have a birthright here. Just the fact of you being here, just the fact of you being here, speaking to whoever's watching this, just the fact of you being here, the angels, the ancestors, the spiritual realm, you're on the leading edge of creation. They are so grateful that no matter where you find yourself, they're thankful that you're here. And you are so supported and so loved that when you let go of control, you realize that was the gift. Because you can't control your reality in the sense of controlling your reality. What you can control is how you respond or react to your relationship with yourself. Not even outside. It's nothing is ever outside. I really invite you to sit with that. If you close your eyes or you open your eyes, who's experiencing the you that you think you are? So to realize that there's nothing ever going on outside of you, why give into the hypnotism to believe that something out there is bigger or lesser than you? That you're waiting for something outside of you or you're excusing something outside of you. So to come to the realization that the one thing that I can work on, the one thing that I can mature, the one thing that I can take responsibility for and mature through and remember through is my relationship with who I think this person is because I'm barely touching the surface. I don't even know who this person is right here. Barely touching the surface. And I've been doing this for 20 years. And I don't say that, to tell you, oh, well, then what's the point? There is a great point because you're going to cycle through circles and seasons and temperatures and programs because you don't take responsibility. And really, we hypnotize ourselves. So why not hypnotize yourself to the greatest version of yourself? Because you're going to hypnotize yourself in one way or another.
Oh, I love that. And we do. Whatever we're focusing on, that energy expands.
Yeah.
So I love your word. And I've always known this, that whatever I'm focused on, it's like a hypnotism. It
Yes.
is me going into that there. And I love also what you said, that there is nothing outside of us.
Nothing.
And so many times we try to make excuses, and we look at things in our world and we say, oh, he made me do that, he made me angry. And it's like, what? Who's angry?
Right.
I am. Nobody made me do anything.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I
And
love this.
when you say, oh, go ahead, Terry.
I just love this outlook and this teaching. So thank
Yes.
you for bringing that forward.
And the reason why I love sharing this is because I see so many people in a mental prison, and let me say something very, very clearly because I appreciate the words you said in the beginning. But let me say, I'm a student of life. It's not that I don't get angry. It's not that I don't. And the thing that I love to invite the audience to hear really, really powerfully is that, when we say, oh, he made me this, he made me that. do you know you're using words to create an illusion that nobody can make you?
Right.
I mean, if you think about it, this message could be the most enlightening message that you hear, but it's your choice what you do with it. That's power. Because I had to literally fall for that someone was, my guru. And I'm not putting gurus down, but I believe somebody had the answer that I didn't have. And I realized that that was a gift because I had to go through that so that our students don't go through the same thing. Because I tell our students, hey, you're my teacher as much as I'm your teacher. We're mirrors of the one mirroring each other. And as long as you stay humble or you choose to stay humble because it's a choice, you choose to stay humble, your life will reveal magic that you can't even imagine. And I'm not talking about physical, because the one thing is not what's outside of you, because the outside is as real as you perceive it to be. Because I've heard this saying, reality is an illusion, but it's a very persistent one at that, right? That's not my quote. I heard it. So to share a little bit on that is I had to get locked up in a 6x9 cell in prison to find my freedom. And I will tell you that what I loved about prison is that people did not fake who they were in the sense of, I'm a killer, I'm a robber, I'm this, I'm that. Like, this is who I am, because they were already there. But how many people outside in the world today, they're afraid to be who they are because they're afraid to be judged. So I'm whatever you think you want me to be. I'm going to people please. And I'm not saying there's something wrong with that, because that is what you are maturing. That's really bringing you back to yourself, because it's not going to work out for you. Let me give you like the biohack to know that it's like what's in store for you. If you're here to please people, if you're here to want other people to like you and validate you, you're never going to love yourself for who you are. And I had to go through that. And sometimes I still fall for that hypnotism. But the question is not if I fall for it, it's accepting that I'm going to fall for it, because my human side of myself is still working through generations of programming, right? So it's acknowledging that and saying, I know it's going to happen. So it's not lying to yourself, but because you're honest with yourself, you're more prepared. So when it happens, you're like, I see you. Oh, I get to love you today. I get to love that part of you. Oh my gosh, this is so adventurous. This is so exciting. I get to love the angry part of you. What do you want to tell me today? Oh man, my dad left me at 9. Beautiful. So how does that make you feel? Oh, wow. So what I'm getting at is we get to reparent ourselves. And the story is the reason why my parents weren't there for me, so that I can discover the gift on how to reparent myself. Because if my parents were there for me, I wouldn't be able to discover the most greatest priceless gift that cannot be bought or sold. It has to be internalized. It has to be realized. It has to be like I don't even know what word to use, to be honest, because words are just so methodical. So
Yeah. And Mike, I love your story. Thank you for being so real and raw with us.
of course.
What I get messages from the angels all the time, and every night I write those because they're for all of us to share.
Yes.
And just a couple of days ago, they talked about how we put ourselves in a prison.
Yes.
We put all these limits on ourselves and these restrictions, and especially if we use a word like I can't, I can't. And the angel said that word means I choose not to. And it seriously does mean that. But
Yeah.
what they shared just a couple of days ago is all those limits that we place on ourselves, all of these beliefs that aren't working for us anymore. We're locking ourselves up with that. And
Yes.
we hold the key to unlock that door.
But it's a gift.
Yeah.
Because just like you said right now, I don't know if you use this word, so I mean I'm not trying to judge or anything like this, but the other word that we use that is like, it's a word that I don't recommend using because I've used it, and from coming from a healing background, like I've been, let's just say I've healed people, but I've never healed them. They healed themselves. I was just a conduit for that, right? But I'm
Mhm.
speaking so people can comprehend what I'm saying. Um, is that if you eliminate the word miracle out of your vocabulary, you realize that what's the difference of you creating miracles in your life or a flower blossoming? It's the same energetic potential, just a degree of perspective that you think this flower is blossoming, oh my gosh, that's natural. That's what the sun does. You are a miracle powerhouse. Like miracles are not like, oh my gosh, that's a miracle. And if that's what seems like your life right now, the miracles are like far and far between. Like even what Terry was saying, working with the student, and he's just incredible. And he's like, Michael, I got my own download. I got my own download. And now he has them like crazy. Is I remember being there. And for those of you that are there, please, I don't speak about myself like, hey, I'm over here and you're over there. I'm saying this as if you want to see this as we are your future self of, let's just say you look at an athlete on TV and you're barely starting to learn how to play basketball. That's your future self that if you practice and you work hard or whatever you want to say, you'll get to be in the NBA. That's an example. I'm not promoting the NBA. I'm not a fan of sports. I don't watch sports. I'm a fan of myself. I'm a fan of humanity. I'm a fan of life. That's what my sports is. That's what my game is. So that in loving wherever anybody is at, you're right where you need to be. I love you. Is that when you realize that the simple fact that you're alive, think about it. You were a seed. May I speak frankly, Terry, a
Oh,
little?
please.
Okay. So you were a seed and you're a sperm. Those two came together to make something so small into this, that, you. Wow. I mean, I have no books or words to describe the simplicity that does it every single millisecond of every single day. Like your DNA is being ripped apart right now as we speak, and it's recoding itself based on what you are internalizing and believing, or like even go from beyond belief and questioning. Don't stay in belief, because questioning is going to open up the mystery of what you call magic, miracles, wonders, alls, and it's going to be a normal thing in your life. And I'm not talking about manifesting something physical. That's immature. I'm talking about transformation of your own consciousness, which this is like what I'm saying is physical, is nothing compared to you transforming your life. Don't ever take that lightly. Like that is the greatest gift that you can give yourself, and you ripple that and you light so many other candles from the flame that you open up yourself. You can't light anybody else, but they will be like, oh, okay, that flame was inside me, but you inspire them to light their candle. So I can go on and on and on.
I
Thank you.
love it. Yes. And,
And I
a lot of
share.
people,
Let me
a
share
lot of
your thing.
people, yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. I was going to say a lot of people want to manifest money, jobs, experiences, but I just love how you put it into perspective. We manifest this, we manifest our experience in spirit and let that come through us. The angels, God, whatever you relate to, it's able to use our voice to get messages out into the world. That's a miracle. Being able to
Yes.
open my eyes and see for just one more day, that's a miracle. So I love your perspective, Mike. That
Whoops.
it's able to.
Okay, there we go. Well, thank you for that, because it's not my perspective. I mean, thank you, because I just wanted to know the audiences. I never own things for myself, because this is why the masters never wanted adoration. Now, there's nothing wrong with owning the vessel, the conduit that you are. But for the audience, because I love myself behind the scenes, and I still work on myself to this day. But I love like 98% of myself and 2% that I'm dancing with, right? And maybe that's a little bit exaggerated, because there's always something to work on. But what I'm getting at is that, when we were talking about humbleness, is that the minute that you own something, not only do you own the thing, but you own the limitation that you think that thing is you. So when you, like a child, right? When you have a child with a toy, oh, this is my toy. Then they have happiness, then they have frustration, then they have stress. But if they look at a toy like an opportunity just to enjoy the moment, it's like, oh, okay, and they know it's somebody else's toy. Okay, there you go. And they're fine. but it's when they think it's theirs. And I gotta be like more clear, because I don't want to say people like don't accept what God's spirit blesses you with. What I'm saying is, if it becomes your level of worship, meaning that you think you're good or bad or right or wrong or enough or not enough, this is where I'm asking you to let go. Because when it steps into that realm, it's like I can enjoy things, and I still do that to this day. Because when I see myself getting attached to it, I'm like, okay, if I attach to this, then there could be something greater that wants to come through. But because I attach to this, I'm saying this, I no longer want this bigger purpose. I no longer want this bigger thing, because like I'm not ready for it, because I need to. No, when I let go of this, it's like, okay, now you're really ready to be used in that way, or to receive, right? So I know I'm going on off on a tangent, but however, I just wanted to share that a lot of people, where I see is, and this is where I think that we're stepping into the next level of our consciousness, because we see that through a tragedy, look how much we've been able to connect with each other. So was it bad? I know for somebody who lost somebody through COVID, it's like, you have no idea what I went through. I feel you. But when we attach it to bad, then we're going to ask for more lessons, because we still haven't loved the lesson that was asking us to love that lesson, so that we can open up the gift, what's always wanting to come through. So when we say something is bad, we're saying that I need to repeat the grade again. When we say something is good, we're saying, okay, I love this grade. I want to stay in this grade. So I'm not ready for second grade yet. I want to stay in first grade because this is good. I want to stay here. I'm safe here. I'm comfortable here. Instead of, you know what? Awesome. First grade was awesome. Do we say in first grade, you know what? I don't want to go to second grade. I love my, we've all had that. I love my teacher. I don't want to lose my teacher. I got to lose my teacher. Not lose. Anyways, I use human language, so I don't, because, we can break down so many different things, is that your attachment to life is also your attachment to suffering and expectation. So when you look at it like a school of life, first grade, you're going into second grade, you can go back to the first grade, go say hi to your teacher, go visit your teacher, go take her an apple, him an apple, whatever. But it's like you're grateful for first grade, but you're like, thank you that I can be in second grade. Curiosity, wonder, amazement. Instead of repeating the same lessons, you're like, this is getting boring. I already know the answer. I already know, because that's what we experience when we don't let go. Because surrender, this is my mantra. Surrender is my best friend. Surrender is my romantic partner. Because I realize in the surrender, it's like all of a sudden just things start just flowing. And I'm talking from the inner first, because to be real with the audience, I'm not a six-figure earner. I'm not a seven-figure earner. I'm not, a famous person. I'm not like, I don't have, luxury cars, luxury homes. I don't have a house in Bahamas. I don't take vacations, every month. I don't live not wanting for anything. But let me tell you, I live not wanting for anything, because I live the greatest life ever. That if and when that happens, I'm open to it. I will never shy away from anything the spirit, blesses me with. However, I'm not chasing that, because that's not what I'm about. So what I'm saying is, the reason why you see on the bottom vibrational soul love style is because I want to speak to every single one of you. You're already rich in vibration. And when you start to realize how rich you are in vibration, reminds me what Tesla said about, his quote, if you want to understand, I say understand. If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, of nature, of God, of spirit, of life itself, study, know, and understand energy, frequency, and vibration. This is what needs to be in our schools. This is what needs to be in our religions. This is what needs to be in our family conversations. Because when we start being aware of this, it's like we're going to peel layers that cause illusions of division, separation, judgment, because it's that energy, frequency, and vibration that is like, this is the real. It wants us to come home, to remember who we are. So thank you, Teri, for letting me share a little spiel there.
Oh, absolutely. Now, did you say you had a recording, or you were just,
What's that?
you mentioned something about a recording? Did you
recording.
have something you reached? Okay,
No,
I
no, no,
missed
no.
it.
I was talking about the vibrillionaire, because
Okay,
that actually, if you Google that, only it exists through Samadhi. And the reason why I say that, Samadhi is our school, Samadhi meditation school. Let me
okay,
share.
awesome. Yeah,
Samadhi Sea of Wisdom
I want to
meditation.
hear more about that, the Samadhi Meditation School. So this is something that you founded, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And
And
Samadhi is a state of consciousness. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, is this how they found the link that you put there on Instagram?
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram. You can actually go to samadhiseaofwisdom.com, just the same right there. Go to the website. It's still under construction. Um, yeah, we're still working on the website.
Okay.
That's where my human part of me is like still working on that, because I want it to be beautiful, perfect. But I realize in it being beautiful, perfect, it's perfect however it comes out,
Mhm.
because it's not serving anybody wanting to be beautiful and perfect. And so many people can relate to that. So, if people want to know my human side, is that I'm a perfectionist, but I'm also a procrastinist, because I use perfectionism, because knowing everything is perfect, I still fall for my human programming, right? Is that, oh my gosh, I want it the best. I want it the best. I've always wanted to give the best, right? In
Right.
everything that I do. And and the reason why I'm sharing and I'm taking off my clothing and identity and persona is because I want you to know that I'm right there with you all. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to, oh, look at me. I'm better than you. I'm this coach. I'm this teacher. I'm a student of life. I'm a human just like all of you. And I love to serve other people wherever I'm at. If I can help you, it's like I'm passionate about what I surrender to every day.
I love that. Yes. And it's that passion that drives us, that has us create a website and create a school that we can help others through.
And
So
talking about
yeah,
passion,
yeah,
oh, excuse me, Terry. Talking about passion, I admire your passion, taking a risk, because it was a risk of going all over the United States. And I love hearing what you're doing. So I just want to not adjust. I honor you. I celebrate you, because like that takes another level of, you know, because I told you on our call, we did that. We went all the way to Canada, from Arizona. We went all the way from Arizona, California to Florida, and it didn't pan out for us that way. But it's because we have our different missions that we are where we need to be, right? So
yes,
honoring what you're doing, it's so beautiful to hear. You're going from place to place in your car. You're being loved. You're being, you know, like just abundantly blessed. I call it blissed, abundantly blissed by everyone around you, like home, food, shelter, all the works. And it's like you're showing humanity that you can trust spirit, it'll take care of you as long as you trust, right?
yeah.
Because that's my big word, is trust, which
Oh,
is
thank
AKA
you.
faith, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what this journey is all about. It has to be trust.
Yes.
Because if I start going out of my heart and into my head, excuse me, then I get the anxiety or wondering, am I doing the right thing? Am I hearing it right?
Yeah.
So this whole journey, almost 3 years now, has been about trust. And yeah,
Yes.
that's my buzzword as well. you
That's
know,
my, you know what? That's my word. I like, not my word. That's the word I've been working on,
right.
is because trust, to me, trust is the glue to every other thing. If there's a lack of trust, which not a coincidence, you have a trust account, you can actually, you know, what is it called? Solidify that account. Then very few corporations can touch it. Takes a lot for them to break into a trust account.
Yes.
Meaning, the trust account like it trumps your bank account. It trumps your savings account. A trust account is a deeper, like, secure account. The reason why I share this is because trust in yourself is the glue to love, to wisdom, to life. Because trust actually is faith. And so many people want to talk about the good side of faith, but you can also have faith to think that you're the most unlucky person in the world, which was me, and experience everything to confirm that. And you're trusting that you're a victim. You're trusting that you're not loved. You're trusting that you're not valued. You're trusting that you're not good enough. You're not there enough. You're not worthy enough. So you're actually exercising faith in a way that's showing you, because it's blessing you, that that's not working for you anymore. So
Right.
how do you shift that? It's a gift.
Yes, it is a gift, and it has awareness.
Yes,
So becoming aware that that's what we're doing, because we're only a victim if we allow that.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So the awareness is so important. And wow, what a great day. So, yeah, my mission is all about peace. And I say every day that that peace has to begin in each of us. So many people say, I want world peace, or I want peace where I'm at, or why can't we just be peaceful and get along in the world and have a world that works for all of us? We can, but it has to start in here. We have to do
Yes,
it first.
yes. Can I share a little bit about that? Because we actually, my wife and I, when I say we, it's my wife and is that when we hear the word peace and we think about, like you said, external peace, and on my profile it says nobody for president, start leading yourself. And I've had that for a couple of years now, and many people have asked me to change it. It doesn't look professional. It looks like you're, anarchist. It looks like you're against politics, and I don't care what it looks like. To me, what the message is, that the reason why we discover peace is because we start leading ourselves.
Mhm.
And when you find peace inside yourself, and let me share a little bit about my story because I think it goes kind of how what you're saying is that I was a criminal, drug addict, ex-felon, all of that. Um, and I fought everyone and everything because I wanted it my way. And fast forward that is I had to go to prison, and literally I'm studying the government, like I mentioned to you on the call, government conspiracy, deep, deep government conspiracy. I was locked up with people that were actually involved in certain things that were blowing my mind. Um, and I was locked up discovering all these different things because I wanted to destroy the government when I got out. I wanted to be the greatest criminal ever. And what I realized is the government was touching me in my prison cell, like literally torturing and killing me without touching a hair on my body,
Right.
like at all. And one thing that I realized from that is that was my form of looking for peace, is vengeance. The minute that I have vengeance, I'm going to have my peace. So what I want to ask the audience is, what is your reason for peace? Because you think it's peace. Go deeper and ask yourself, what are you excusing, lying to yourself, thinking that you're looking for peace, but what condition are you looking for on the other side of that? Because that is your gift for you to love that part of you that is going to reawaken the peace that you are.
I love that. Yeah, I,
You don't have to go to the cell to figure that out. I mean, if
right,
you want to, trust me, you can work with reality. You can end up going to prison and discover what I'm telling you right here today.
right. Yeah.
But I don't desire for any of you to have to go to prison, like a physical prison, because enough of you are in mental prison. But to give you a little bit about hindsight on that, when I was in prison, I realized I was in a prison within a prison within a prison. I realized I was in 3 different prisons, which is the prison of the mind, the brain, right? And then the prison in the physical prison, like the physical prison. And then the third prison, which is me having to prove myself to other people. So I lived for other people. So when I was in prison, I discovered those 3 things, because when you only have yourself to face, and it's not because I'm going to a monastery, it's not because I'm going to some place so that I can find my peace. It's a place that was forced upon me.
Mhm.
I literally almost went crazy. And I think that's what we see in the world today, because so many of the world is almost going crazy because it's the spirit saying the ego has ran the show long enough.
Yeah.
And the ego is not bad. It wants to be a conduit to serve through, but because we are the guardians of that ego, we are the facilitators of that ego, saying, okay, ego, this is what you're going to do today. This is how you're going to do it. So because it's like this phone, right? If I use this phone looking for, I'll say the word negative stuff, destructive things. If I look at things to complain about, I have many more reasons to complain.
Mhm.
Not the phone's not against me. The internet's not against me. None of that is against me. It's me making those choices that are creating the illusion that my phone is against me.
Right.
So reality is no different because, I've worked with people that play video games, and I used to be addicted when I was a kid. Is that I don't play video games. I don't watch TV because that's a whole other subject, Terry. It,
Mhm.
our babysitter has become AI, so our imagination is imagined for us. Our thoughts are thought for us. Our patterns are programmed for us, right? And it's when do we take that level of a gift of responsibility to say, I'm going to turn on my imagination today.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn on my thoughts or the thoughts. Because if you think something is against you, if you think there's something bad, it's because you haven't taken responsibility of this.
Mhm.
It's affecting that. They see the thoughts because they haven't been matured. They look outside for a confirmation, like a facial recognition. When I put my face, oh, excuse me, that's my. I'm going to be posting about that very soon, Terry. You're,
Okay.
you're looking at a person who's dead, but the soul is so alive. If you look at my pupils, they're very, very small.
Yes.
When you look at a dead body, you see the pupils, or somebody on plant medicine, you see them with the little irises like that. I don't know if you could see it; it's kind of blurry, but my
Yes. Yeah.
pupils are very, very small.
Yes.
So that just happened about a month ago. Um, but the reason why I share that is because this was a gift of me experiencing this because I literally see my body convulsing in massive seizure, dying in front of my eyes. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm enjoying this game. Like, you're such a beautiful soul. You're such a beautiful being. In your worst state, I love you. And I came to my body, which I wasn't going to share that today, but it's coming through. I came to my body and I'm seeing myself like this. And I'm laughing at myself. I'm like, wow, like this is so freaking cool. Right. And then because of the energy that let me just say this. When you work your energy, you can master more than you can imagine.
Mhm.
And when I was looking at myself go like this, like I came to, and I was like, I was in between what just happened and I know what happened. Because then my brain's like, what just happened? My heart was like, I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. You're good. I love you. You're perfect. And the brain was still trying to figure out, am I alive? Am I dead? What's going on here? And when you see that picture, I took it. It followed, my heart because it said, "Take this picture now." And it was like this kind of selfie kind of thing. Like I'm gonna post it later. I'm gonna look at this picture later because I don't know what it's gonna look like, but this means a lot to me. So I took a picture, and that's one of the pictures that you see. And I even took another picture. Well, if you can tell, like my hair was all over the place because I was just letting everything go. And I took a picture like this. Like oh my gosh, I just died. Like this is freaking incredible.
Right.
Because I want to share something to this. We talk about humbleness, but the greatest act of humbleness is questioning your reality that you invite yourself to learn how to die a little bit more skillfully each day. Because when you can learn how to die before you die, you live beyond living.
Yes.
And that is my story, and I'm sticking to it unless I'm asked to humble that and let go and another thing because I'm never stuck to anything.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I just want to thank you for sharing so openly with us today. And
Of
you've given
course.
us a little glimpse of who you are. And I know I want to have you back again because there is so much. And yeah, we talked about a lot of things on the phone. And one of the things that you shared with me was that while you were incarcerated, that's when you had an awakening, when you
Yes.
were all by yourself. And that's where we have to be, is by ourselves. We have to do this journey alone. Nobody can do that for us. Nobody, there's not a group of people or any other person that can make that connection to our spirit.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's so
That's,
much I want you to share with the audience, but I know that you have a commitment coming up, and
I have
so
the alarm. The alarm will let me know. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. I wanted to see those. I put it ahead of time, so we still have some time.
okay.
Um, we can always do this again for sure.
Yes,
This is
I'd
what I
love.
look for, and I actually want to do some summits, some events with you too, because you know, to me these are the millionaires, these are the billionaires, and to me these are the celebrities. So for you watching this video, we celebrate athletes, performers, celebrities, and then we think there's something not like why don't I get to live that life? And I want to share, and then we'll come back to that you just said because that's very very important. I love that you shared that. Thank you for that. Is that a true celebrity doesn't get paid to fake a role?
Right.
A celebrity gets paid life to celebrate and live and love life. If you look at celebrities, how many celebrities are miserable, no matter how much they accomplish?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying don't manifest, don't get money, because if I can help one of you work through what I had to work through so you don't have to go through what I went through, and this is what we do, Teri, this is what we help, this is what we teach. I'm not a business coach, but I work with business people that they say, Michael, you're a freaking amazing business coach. See, because the greatest business is the goal of yourself, life.
Right.
You take care of that, magic or miracles, whatever you want to call that, just starts to permeate your whole entire existence. Like it's if you would have told me this 20 years ago, I wouldn't believe you. I'd be like, or even 10 years ago, I still was studying it, but I wasn't embodying it. And the reason why I want to share that is because when you see a celebrity online, when you see these people that you think they're better than you, you know, I ask you to really check in with yourself, because the only reason why you think that they're better than you is because they have something material that you don't.
Mhm.
The reason why I share this is because when you realize that wherever you are, like I said earlier, that you're alive, like you have an empire, a kingdom, a queendom, a universe, a galaxy, a multi-universe that is in your favor, dying and rebirthing for you in every single moment of every single day. You talk about angels, every single atom of your body is an angel. It's a messenger. You have DNA. If one DNA went wrong or one DNA checked out, you'd be dead. You wouldn't be here. That's how amazing you are. So I invite you to really sit with yourself, because you were saying that. Now I want to bring it back to that. But to coincide with that is that when I asked you, be open to receive all these things, because money is not money. It's currency. It's energy of current. Now, before it was corn, before it was cows, before it was, you know, uh, fruits and vegetables, which we're returning. Look how funny that is. We're returning back to our ancestors, because that's the riches, right? So here's my point: is that when you look at money, you see a paper that says whatever denomination that you are, it gives a value. It's just a piece of paper, but that paper is connected to a tree that was cut down for you to be, gifted and serve others. So you're honoring that tree. Don't look at it like money. You're honoring nature, because nature has been corrupted in the eyes of the world. But when we can honor nature within ourselves, we see money as a conduit. We talk about healers being conduits, right? That is a gift that nature is being a conduit for us to what? Build communication, build relationships, serve one another. But the world wants to tell you it's bad. Don't do what I did and have to work through money issues again and again and again, judging money the more you work on it because it's spiritual and all this. That's a bunch of hypnotism. At the finest level, it is nature. And even beyond nature, it is energy, which nature is energy. But you see a tree, you think you're seeing a tree, but it's really the energy inside of it that you're not seeing, and outside of it, because it's all one. But going back to what you said earlier, because I know we're coming to the conclusion of this. So thank you again, Teri. Is that When I was in meditation, I had something come to me that I want to share with all of you. You sit with your best friend and you listen to them. Maybe maybe you even dialogue back and forth with them, right? But you listen to them. You sit with your husband, wife, your sons, your daughters, your business partners, whatever fill in the blank you want to. You listen to your pastor. You listen to your, like I said, fill in the blank. When's the last time you sat and listened to yourself? So if you love your best friend more than yourself, one of these days your best friend is not going to be good enough. Because if your best friend was good enough, that means the truth is you're a victim. Even your faith is going to test you because your faith was not made for you to be a victim. Your faith was made to remind you who you are. Look at the world. The world is going to continue as it is. And that's a whole other subject, Terry. But I used to choose that I'm going to stay behind so that I can help so many people. But staying behind doesn't help anybody. Playing small does not help anybody. Thinking I'm not good enough so you can feel better is not helping anybody. And I did that. And I just got out of it months ago. I still work through it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But I'm not staying there. Being poor physically is not helping anybody.
Right.
Because we're exchanging currency. The heart is awakening everyone. The head, everybody that operates from the head, and if this is you, I'm going to ask you to really, really analyze yourself because the head is being humbled more than ever before. In United States is the head energy of this world. In United States, if we don't wake up, United States is going to crumble because it is the head energy. And we are the nervous system of the United States. If we, the people, and if you're in another country, I mean this as a world, as a universe, because it's not, we're this little being, but I'm saying this to use the program to speak so that in a simple version we can communicate. So I'm going to speak in a way of I'm an American, right? Just for an example.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an American. I'm a sovereign, universal being, not even from the universe. The universe is a particle that serves me. I'm from the universe. That's a word that I created. I don't know if it exists somewhere else. But the universe that I serve is what creates billions of universes. The universe bows to me. The universe bows to you. That's why if you have a good attitude, you're going to see the universe show up for you. If you have a bad attitude, the universe showing up for you because it's telling you, hey, you're forgetting who you are. I don't want to remind you of your victim. I'm here to remind you who you are. It's always doing that. So sit with yourself. Because if you don't sit with yourself, life is going to humble you, just like the United States is being humbled, just like the world is being humbled. And what happened in COVID, Jerry? Nature bounced back in 1 month, more than 100 years. Nature bounced back. What is this telling us? Nature represents the heart. If you would sit with yourself just for a little bit, your heart would show you how powerful you are.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, such words of wisdom, and thank you so much. Yes, we will definitely have a repeat show where we invite Mike back. For those of you who have not joined our Facebook group yet for the World Peace Mission, it's rolling right now. It's 10 million for world peace. We want 10 million plus people meditating every day to usher in peace into this world. Like I said, it has to start inside. So we're asking over 10 million people to start meditating and going into that place of peace inside of you. And then we will see it on the outside. It'll be a reflection of what's in our hearts. So I invite you to join that. I invite you to check out Michael Post on Instagram. And what a delight to have you on today. There's so much more. We've only touched the surface today. So, Mike, I can't wait to have you back again. And maybe in a panel discussion where we have like-minded souls that come in and share some of these deeper truths. So thank you. Thank you so much for
You're
being
welcome.
here.
Thank you.
And so much love to you. And congratulations. Michael is a
Thank
newlywed.
Thank you. And there's a secret there that I want to share maybe in one of our podcasts,
Yeah.
but I don't feel any different because my wife and I, we did so much work that many couples do the opposite. They play this safe game of, and then they get behind the marriage and like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that there was this. I didn't realize there was that.
Right.
It's like we lie so we get people please into a marriage. I gave a hack there for those of you looking for your husband and your wife or relationship right now. Get to know your husband and wife, even if you've already got married. Save yourself the divorce because you're in there for a reason. As long as you're not in danger, you're not being physically or mentally abused to a degree that you can't be yourself. Get out and do something about your self love. But yeah, that's a whole other thing. And lastly, that I want to say is this: what you said, the 10 million for world peace, is that think about this, Teri. Less than 1% of us are doing this deeper inner spiritual work. I'm not talking about the people that are spiritual that run from this deeper responsibility. I love you. Thank you for showing up in whatever way. But I'm talking about the people that do the deeper dive inner work. We're shifting the whole global consciousness by less than 1%. And look what we're already doing. So I'm saying this for you watching this, let that inspire you that it doesn't take a lot. A little bit of us, we're already shifting the global consciousness.
Yes.
And we have the support of our angels, ancestors, and just world, animal, spiritual kingdoms and dimensions, queendoms, because it's dimensions, right? It's beyond polarity. But yes, this is such a beautiful gift. Thank you so much, Teri. And I just want to share that really quick because we're in such great times. Great times.
Yes.
It's an honor.
It is. And thank you, Michael. Thank you, everyone who tuned in today. And namaste. We will see you next week on the Peapod. Thank you for joining. Bye, everyone.
Ciao for now.